Good morning and welcome to Last Call, the long form political news segment of the Photostop podcast channel. Joining me today will be Chief Keef and, of course, Deadleg Media behind the scenes, doing all the fact checking, everything. We got a big show for you guys today. We got to cover the hungry Haitians, which was called out in the debate last night as being fake news. I'm not so sure that it's fake news. We're going to break it all down here today on Last Call. But also, we've got to get into this debate. I'd love to know what you guys in the chats, as the chats begin to build this morning. I want to know what you guys feel, who won the debate. Don't tell me yet. I'll get to it, and I'm going to do a poll in the chats to see what you guys think, but I'll go over it as objective as I can, and I promise today is going to be a high energy Wednesday hump day show, but I got to get through this because I was sitting at the bar in Orlando, Tactical Brewing Company in Orlando, which on the 18th of October, we will be doing a comedy show for Shell Shock, which is on the 19th, all in Orlando, staying at the Sheraton North. We want all of you there. All of you there. Get your butts to Orlando. Stay at the Sheraton North. This is going to be a rager, a 2-day rager. We're going to be a Tactical Brewing Company for a big comedy show that night, all veterans and first responders and supporters of, with some very special guests that we don't want to say because we don't want riots in the streets. We want to keep this localized. Just trust me on this one. You can DM me and I'll tell you who it is. You just can't put it out there, but I do trust you guys in the Wolfpack. And then Shell Shock all day on Saturday. Live music, big bands, Podcast-a-Palooza at level 13 in Orlando. I think the club holds like 1,000. We have the whole club. So it's just going to be an awesome, awesome time. We got Anti-Hero Podcast, Two Cops, One Donut, Donut Shop Podcast. Everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. So, but going back, I was sitting at the bar with this very lovely couple, having a great time. I just popped my head in there to scope it out, recon, and then I found myself having a beer. And then some fans bought me another beer. And then some other randos came in, and we all just started chitty-chatting. And the girl was like, I don't even... No, she was a very sweet girl. Very nice. I shouldn't be an asshole. Fuck it. I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, I just don't even remember 9/11. And I was like, well, how old are you? She was like 22. And then it dawned on me. I realized she wasn't even born yet. That's insane. And I'm not, I'm being serious when I say this. 9/11 feels like it happened yesterday. Like I remember everything about 9/11, man. I remember just all of the pressure in my chest. Like I knew in that moment, I had long hair down to my shoulders. I was a surfer. I had been surfing that morning. I don't remember what the waves were like, but I do remember I surfed like every morning before school. I remember with my long hair knowing in that moment, I'm going to war. I'm going to go to war. And sure enough, like a year and a half later, I was in war. But I remember everything about 9/11. And it feels like yesterday. And it's bonkers to me that I guess the Zennials or Gen Alpha they don't know what 9/11 is. They don't know how we were united. They don't know how we were not united. If you guys remember, like Bush and Cheney were not loved people by the left. I would venture to say that Dick Cheney and Bush were even more hated than Donald Trump. They didn't go after them because Bush and Cheney had more political power, but like just people on the left, I think from like, what was it like? It was Edward Snowden and who was the other whistleblower, Josh? That was
after
Julian Assange, right?
Yeah, but that was all after.
Well, I mean, it was after, but Julian Assange is the one who exposed Bush, right? Like, and then there was the Occupy Wall Street thing that all happened. When that was all in that time. We were kind of divided, but we were all united that day, 9/11, and like the 2 weeks after we were actually united. I remember all of those things happening at one time, and it's crazy that there are adults that didn't live that and don't know it. So I promise today's going to be high energy. I promise we're going to dive into some really awesome news today. We're going to have a really great time, but I have to, because I was there. I wasn't there. I wasn't at 9/11, but I was alive for it. And I remember all of it. I have to do a moment of silence for 9/11 to remember all of the lives lost that day and all of the heroic I mean, just the like Normandy storming the beach style heroism by firefighters, cops, EMS workers, just average citizens going back up to try to rescue their friends, people who stuck around who didn't run away, for people who were running away but helping others run with them. I mean, there was 1,000 million stories of heroic deeds where it really showed the good in humanity. And I want to remember that right now. And if you are a Gen Alpha or you're a Zennial and you weren't alive, then I think it is your duty to go back after this show and to look through some pictures. Just type in 9/11 Google and go back and look at some pictures and do a little bit of research on what happened that day. Read a couple of stories, because it was one of the most terrible yet incredible days in this country's history. So let's do a moment of silence real quick. Josh, start the timer. Let's just do like 40 seconds or something.
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on
This is
Sunday.
about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
All right, guns up, giddy up. Let's bring the energy back into it. We got some people in the live chats. Bone Cold, Fleas, Austin, Armory Knight, Cupcakes, and Cameo. Nico, the Greco, David J, Lemur 530, Slick Montana. I really want to meet Slick Montana. I hope some of you guys should be at the meetup. I would love to see you guys down in Orlando. Make it a vacay, baby. October 18th and 19th. Stay at the Sheraton. Have a couple of suds with me, with Deadleg. Are you coming, Keith?
Working on it. Hopefully, if all works out, yes.
All right, good. I want to see you there. You can room with me if you need to.
Sweet.
It'll be great. Slick Montana says, good morning. Revel, wakey, eggs and bakey. Hands off the snakey. I love it. Love to hear it. Love to see it. Good show today. Already in the chats, people putting in the Trooper and Marine. Not sure you want Tansy. I have a lot of really great state trooper jokes. It's always, I love doing stand-up comedy, but I like doing stand-up comedy in front of police-related crowds because I like my trooper jokes, and I can only tell them in front of law enforcement. So rest assured you will hear them. Difficult to look at picture says, I'm leaving Florida never to return. You're never going back to Florida. You didn't like it. Well, you should have went to St. Augustine like I told you, but you did. So can't help you there. I can lead the horse to the water. I cannot make it drink. Last night was the debate. Promised we'd get in it. Today's show, by the way, brought to you by ghostbed.com and factormeals.com/Wolfpack50. By the way, Bosco Autry hit me up this weekend for the promo code. It's Wolfpack, baby. Get up on that Wolfpack. Get you to sleep so good it's scary. Woo-hoo. By the way, Ghostbed is actually sponsoring Shell Shock, big sponsor of Shell Shock and the comedy show. So, dadgone it, man. Not an ad read, but how cool is it that we have a company that one has been with us since the beginning, they have been with me from the beginning, like 4 years. They've been with this particular show. They're now helping me launch my new show, Fox News, which is just a YouTube channel alone, still putting some funding that way. And then they're sponsoring us to do a comedy show and a big giant rock concert with some hardcore heavy metal bands. It's like Vans Warped Tour meets SHOT Show, what's called Shell Shock. We've got Evergreen Terrace, by the way, showing up, which I don't know if you were into hardcore emo-ish style music back in the day, but Evergreen Terrace was right up there in the mix. So I cannot believe that we're getting to do all of this in October, and you guys better get your butts down there because I want to meet every one of you. But you have to introduce yourself by your screen name, because if you're like, hey, dude, you know who I am? You know who I am? And I'm like, I don't know who you are. And you're like, Jake Roberts? And I'm like, I've never heard of a Jake Roberts in my life. Bro, I'm in your live chats every freaking show. And I'm like, I've never seen a Jake Roberts. Marine's Bloodbath? Ring a bell? And you're like, oh, okay, I know you as Marines Bloodbath. I don't know you as whatever your real fucking name is. You know, but that's actually a true story, not with Marines Bloodbath, but with somebody else that was at our Wilmington meetup where this dude talked to me all night. And it wasn't until the end of the evening that I find out his real name from not his real name, his screen name. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I would have been all up on these inside jokes if you would have let me know you were that in the chats. Anyway, embarrassing moments there. But anyway, thank you so much, Ghostbed, for hooking us up. They are truly the best. And they ask nothing of us, man. They've literally never asked, except that we sell the shit out of their beds, their pillows, their cooling sheets, their massage toppers, which it's really easy to sell something that you truly love. And I truly, truly love every bit of Ghostbed, from the pillows to the sheets. I was on vacation for 9 days. Could not wait to get home to my daggone Ghostbed. And I did not travel on the cruise with my Ghostbed pillow, and I regret every freaking second of it. So, all right. By the way, let's get together and put together a cruise, a podcast cruise. You guys ever been on a cruise?
I have not.
You've never been on a cruise?
No, I'm a cheap loser.
Oh, well, how old are you?
I'm a peasant.
How old are you?
44.
And you've never been on a cruise?
Never.
I say it like I didn't just go on my first cruise at 40 years old. Anyway, I cannot believe I waited until I was 40 to go on my first cruise. That was the best vacation. I'll never take another vacation. I will never take another vacation other than a cruise. I will cruise the rest of my life. The food is incredible. The drinks all day. Just wake up. My brother, I went on this cruise with 52 people.
Holy.
And yeah. And my brother at one point was like, dude, have you had anything besides an alcoholic drink since you've been on this cruise? And I was like, you know what? I haven't. And I was never drunk. But like I would wake up with a Bloody Mary, and then I would drink my Bloody Mary with breakfast, go snorkeling with the kids, go back in, grab a pina colada, head over to the food area, grab food, have beer with my food, go back to the snorkeling, come back from snorkeling, go to the pool, have a Mai Tai at the pool, get done with the pool, head back to the room, grab a bottle of champs, a little bottle of sparkling, drink some champs and bubbles while I'm taking a shower, getting ready for dinner, head into dinner, have 2 glasses of wine with dinner, take the kids to the play area in the kids zone, go back to the room, finish the champs, and then go clubbing all night and just getting wrecked till 2 a.m. and then getting up at 7 to do it all over again. So I want to do a last call failure to stop cruise, because if we can get 52 friends and family together for a cruise, I can get this whole podcast channel together for a cruise, and you have like a year to pay on it. So you put like $200 down and you pay like $100 a month to go on an epic cruise. So I want to get together and see if we can do a next summer failure to stop Wolfpack cruise. And I can even probably get us one of the
Wings
arenas to do an actual live show, or do some kind of like a comedy show for you guys, because they have like a whole bunch of theaters and stuff. So I think if we plan it early enough, I can probably get us on stage for some stand-up comedy and some like round robin stuff. So you know what, Slick Montana, the Wolfpack, dude, I was literally with one of the sheriffs. He just retired as the sheriff of St. Johns County. He was on the boat. There was another captain. One of the supervisors for dispatch was with us. So there was a bunch of cops and first responders in our group. Another cop from St. Johns County was with us too. And you don't maybe Carnival Cruise Section 8 of the Seas is a little bit different, because that's how I thought it was going to be. You know, watching all these things, Royal Caribbean, they don't tolerate any of that shit. Like the vibe there is just like fun and flirty. It's just this like really fun, flirty vibe, man. My wife and I spent a lot of time at the cigar lounge and cigar bar, just drinking Manhattans and smoking cigars together. It was awesome. Definitely wasn't any hungry Haitians on our boat. It was definitely middle class and above. So glad to see it. Let's jump into today's shows, because, okay, I apologize. I really do. But listen, guys, we have started a new news channel called Fox News, FAWKES News. Head over there right now. Hit the subscribe. I'm doing multiple segments a day over there. doing actual news where there's no BS, there's no fun and flirtiness, there's no hanging out with you. It's just right down to biz news, and it's like 9 to 15 minutes, although there is one that's an hour and a half, but that's because I broke down Kamala's entire CNN interview, which was actually really, really important going into this debate, because if you want to go back and listen to that episode, I play in her totality all the questions she was asked, which are the same exact questions that she was asked in the debate. And if you want to know how awesome and how on point our news is with Fox News, I did that interview. Not that interview. I did that episode on her CNN interview. And I say they are calling this. Now that interview, I did that show, 10 days ago, 11 days ago. They said that this was her big moment. This was Kamala's big moment. This is her first time addressing the nation. This is her moment to let people know her policies. That's how they introed her CNN interview. Her very first question was about her policy. She absolutely flopped on it. She embarrassed herself. She was not prepared for any of the questions. She did not take it seriously. Objectively, she did not take it seriously. You can go back and look at the same questions, and I play them. The question she's asked and how she answers it versus how Trump was asked on Elon Musk show and how he answered it. And then we come over to the debate last night. They were the same exact questions, but almost the roles are reversed. If we want to jump into it, Trump was not prepared last night. It's almost like Trump had already answered those questions in the past. He should have just answered them like he answered them with the Elon Musk interview. He didn't. He fell apart last night. And it was almost the absolute adverse where Kamala was overly prepared, almost scripted, almost like she knew what the questions were going to be. But she did a really great job compared to what she did on the CNN interview. So the way that Fox News is working, FAWKES, after Guy Fawkes, the way Fox News works is I am trying to give you guys agenda free. And what do I mean by agenda free? It's not so much that it's objective, because we all do know that I'm pretty much conservative and pro first responder and everything like that. But I don't have a reason to sell you on somebody. So I can go to Fox News, my channel, FAWKS, and go over to that channel, and I can give you the why. So like I did is The Rock endorsing Donald Trump? Well, the reason why Real Fox, FOX News, is all boned up on this, they are spinning the story because it fits their agenda, and they're really excited. But the real story is he became a board member on the board of directors for the UFC and the WCW. And that's a hugely conservative crowd. And the tides are turning. And Biden looks terrible. And he's having to backtrack everything that he said. So I'm kind of using the FAWKES news platform to kind of give you a more objective, non-spend news. I'm taking the emotions out of the news and the hyperbolicness. It's transparent news. And it's a lot of fun. And I hope to see you guys over there. So if there is a segment that comes out, it's going to be the big trending topic, but I will have already dove into it and kind of been more transparent and giving you the both sides of the story, because I'm not trying to, I'm not treating this like it's the Weather Channel. And I believe that Fox News and CNN, ABC, they're just glorified weather channels. We're like 1,000-year storm, as if we've all forgotten Hurricane Katrina. Do you guys notice that? Where they're like, it's almost every storm is this 1,000-year storm. And if it's a 1,000-year storm, I'm expecting like Katrina times 3, right?
Yeah, you'd expect half the country to be underwater.
But they literally called they said that this was going to be the worst hurricane season ever. I was expecting like 2 Hurricane Andrews and a Katrina. We haven't had shit.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're still going on it. They're still like tropics, still causing, still disastrous turmoil in the tropics. No, there's not. No, there's not. Like, you guys don't remember like these really big, like you guys don't remember like Francine, like what was it? Hurricane Fran 15, 20 years ago, Katrina, you got
Andrew way before that.
Andrew before that. Like, dude, we've had some catastrophic storms. This isn't catastrophic storms, but anyway, 1,000-year storm. No, it's not. No, it's not. But anyway, but the whole news has become 1,000-year storms.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everything's a flood. The hungry Haitians, the Venezuelan takeover. But instead of just saying what happened, did Venezuelans really take over an apartment complex? Yeah, sure. But it wasn't like a Venezuelan takeover, World War III style, to get you all hammed up. But it also isn't fake. It's not fake news. So CNN tells you it's fake news. Fox News tells you it's civil war in Aurora, Colorado. We try to tell you exactly what's going on, which is not as exciting. So maybe our show will not be as successful, But you can go to Fox News and get the exciting part, and you can go to CNN and get the exciting part, and then you can come to ours and get like the realistic part. So really fun show. Please, Cupcakes and Scams says, I'm getting ready to go to the beach in 5 days, and I swear to God, Tansy, if you jinx it, I will come to North Carolina and I will find you. Oh, hey, Cupcake, come and find me. It'll be a 1,000-year storm, girl. I promise you that. Don't tell my wife.
Make sure you got your arm.
And you're gonna have to help me out with my 5 kids after my wife leaves me on this podcast affair.
This is that fine print that no one
Every
reads.
time I bring up having an affair, my wife, she's like, go ahead. Like, if you want to raise 5 kids with another woman, go for it, honey. And I'm like, shit, yeah, you're right. Like, not gonna happen.
I need to backtrack.
Right now, like, I don't change any diapers. Like, I don't do any dishes. Like, my wife is like full-blown housewife. So I'm very spoiled. So I can't really cheat on her. So unfortunately. No, I'm just kidding.
Unfortunately.
If anybody knows my wife, you know that like, I am an extremely overly happily married man. So I don't have the energy to cheat on my wife. So it's all just jokes. But for tonight's story, the big debate last night. I don't know. I did not watch any reactions because I had my own reaction to it, and I didn't want to talk about but let me see in the chats while Jay and Deadleg are telling me what they thought. Hit in the chats who you thought objectively won that debate. But I want to start with you, Keith. In your opinion, who do you think won the debate last night?
To be honest, I honestly think it was a wash. I don't think I agree the fact that he didn't appear prepared. And they also knew that if they could get him off script just a touch and let him get emotional, he rambles, he speaks the way he speaks, right? They knew that was going to happen. She lied with every answer that she gave. So I think it was kind of a wash. We did a watch party down at our American Legion post, and we had probably 40, 50 people there. And it's all over the news, but I agree with it. We said it before it was even said on the news that it was essentially 3 against 1. The moderators were in her back pocket. The whole thing. ABC just literally just ganged up on him, in my opinion. But we all know that he's not a great speaker anyway. And as soon as he gets emotional and puts his heart in it, they jump all over.
I disagree. I thought that if Trump would have just answered those questions, how he answered them with Elon Musk, his tone with Elon Musk was so different. And you can go to Fox News, FAWKES, and watch that in it. And you can watch where towards the end, I play Trump's answer. So I'm not going to do it here. I'm not going to beat you to death over it. You can go over there and look at it. Plus, it helps me out with numbers over there on the new channel. But he answered it with like empathy. You almost felt bad for Trump. Like you almost felt like Trump had been beat up by the left. Because when he was talking to Elon, he was like, well, Elon, Venezuela, they're having such a hard time in Venezuela and Brazil. And you know what I mean? But like, he had like an empathetic tone to his voice where it's like, but in last night's debate, he was very on edge. I almost wanted to just get in his ear and say, calm down, bro. Calm down. Calm down. You're winning. You're ahead. She's not beating you. And I feel like he took the bait.
In those types of interviews, he's very good. I agree with that. But when you put him on a stage, and obviously there was all kinds of concerns about ABC hosting it, all the rules and everything else.
Well, yeah, and then going into it, ABC had, what was it, 93%? So like somebody did some research on it, and the pregame was 94% positive quotes about Kamala Harris, but there was 93% negative quotes about Donald Trump before they even started the debate. So ABC had already implanted in your brain all of these negative connotations, this negative kind of vibe going into the debate, which I was really glad. I think it was Fox News that actually did the research there where they actually counted out the negative statements about Trump that ABC did. So yeah, I think you're right, Keith, that there definitely was absolutely no love from ABC there. But how do you feel like, do you think that she got under his skin?
I don't think she got under his skin. I think the whole situation got under his skin, and going into that, you have to be prepared. You have to, because you knew the storm was coming, and he got, like you said, on edge. I think is a perfect analogy. He couldn't, he was just back and forth, and then he'd strike, and sometimes the strikes didn't hit the where they should have. But I mean, we'll see how it pans out.
Honestly, I don't think it pans. I don't think there is any panning out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you're right. Like, I think it's a wash. But here's how I feel, Keith. And you're a sports guy, so this is how I'm going to relate it to you. I'm not a sports guy, so I might be a little bit, but this is how I feel. I felt like you're the dominant team. Trump was the dominant team and it held the ball the first half. Like, I felt like I was watching the first half of a very important football game where Donald Trump had the ball the majority of the time and would drive all the way up to the 10-yard line, get 4th and 10, 4th and 8, bring out the kicker, and the kicker whiffed the field goal. And then they do a 3 and out. They get the ball back. They push the entire length of the field after the punt. They get all the way down to the 8-yard line, and then they fumble the ball. They go 3 and out again, get the ball back deep as a punt. They move the ball all the way back up, kick a field goal, and get 3 points. And so you're going into the locker room, even though you've really dominated the game, haven't had any, your defense is keeping them to 3 and out. Their defense is letting you drive all the way the length of the field and keep the ball the time. But you're still going in the locker room with, 3-0 on the scoreboard, and it's still anybody's game coming out of the second half. That's how I feel that this went. I thought Donald Trump, had he had kicked the field goals, had he had capitalized and not fumbled, had he had really taken the opportunity to talk about policy and to not to fall for it. And I'll show you a couple of receipts where he falls for her pettiness, and he just couldn't help himself. And now we're going into halftime, 2 months out of this election cycle, and it's only 3-0. Like,
right.
Trump, I really felt like Trump could have put this thing away. We could have been going into halftime, up 21-0 and had some comfortable and had a comfortable second half. But and maybe that's bad, right? Because you never really want to see your team come out 21-0 because you're always scared of that
Right.
epic comeback.
I'm proud of you. That's a good analogy. I'm very proud.
Was it a good analogy?
Very
Thank
good.
you. Deadleg, how did you feel about last night's debate?
Well, I was trying to figure out how I could put this into sports too. So we'll keep with the same team that's getting ready to just put a whipping on this other team, but the refs are completely on the other team's side the entire time. This before the coin toss, this before the first whistle. So they're going to flow flags on every play. They're going to get penalties.
Remember the Titans type deal.
Every bit of it, because during the debate, everything that she would say, not fact checked at all. Things that Trump would say, they were trying to fact check him in real time on things that were true. So the 3-against-1, there's that. I think that he's walking on thin ice the entire time. He doesn't want to give them that moment. He wants he says, okay, we've set these very, very strict rules out. I'm going to play by these rules. And then they don't turn off the mics. They let her talk over him. So then he goes, okay, well, if we're going to test the waters a little bit, she could talk over me. So I'm going to talk over her. So then they start doing this and that back and forth throughout the night of how far can we go before they really start to cut it off. And then he finally did have his moment of, I'm sorry, I'm talking here. I'm sorry, I'm talking here.
But he ruined that moment by saying, you see what I did there? Like, he should have just not said that. He should have just said, I'm talking. And then kept going. I thought that little extra, again, was petty. That made it petty. You see what I did there? But, you didn't need that part, bud. Just leave that part out.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
sometimes silence is golden.
She has done one interview in the last how many weeks compared to his how many hours of interview. She's got minutes of interview compared to his hours. So going into this, he's laid out policies and things going into ahead of time. She doesn't have anything. So she's laid out a policy plan, 24 hours. She put up stuff before. Neither one of them talked about policy for anything. The moderators even asked Trump, hey, do you have a policy on this? And one of the questions is yeah, I have a policy, but I'm not in office right now. Okay, well, what makes me want you have a plan for this, right? I want you to be able to fly this plane, but you're telling me that you have this training. I'd like to see their certificate. Tell me the plan. Show me what you're going to do to get us from point A to point B. And he didn't do that. He didn't do that at all. She didn't either. because she was, hey, I'd ask Eric, hey, what's 2 + 2? And she's like, well, let me tell you about pancakes and birds. Like has nothing to do
Right.
with what it is. And
Do we have the clip? Do we have the clip where they ask her a question and she talks about like getting raped or something?
This was the
I
moment
was like
for me.
4 glasses of wine in. So
This is, I would say, hilarious. But when I was hearing the question, I was like, okay, this seems like it may be somewhat of a fair debate. They set it up where they ask about her flip-flopping on things like, hey, if we're going to be, I'm going to be right against fracking. I'm all against fracking. And then as soon as we get ready to vote, hey, I'm for fracking, but my values haven't changed. Well, what changed? What changed your mind? Because you can change your mind. You could change your mind about abortion. You could change your mind about it. We could change our mind about 9/11. We can change our mind about all kinds of other things once we're given more information. But to be able to change your mind after I'm vehement, I'm for this, and then I'm not against it, and then this amazing answer. This is awesome.
Your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is that we have got to invest in diverse sources of energy so we reduce our reliance on foreign oil. We have had the largest increase in domestic oil production in history because of an approach that recognizes that we cannot over-rely on foreign oil. As it relates to my values, let me tell you, I grew up a middle-class kid raised by a hardworking mother who worked and saved and was able to buy our first home when I was a teenager. The values I bring to the importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. My work that is about protecting Social Security and Medicare is based on long-standing work that I have done, protecting seniors from scams. My values have not changed. And what is important is that there is a president who actually brings values and a perspective that is about lifting people up and not beating people down and name calling. The true measure of the leader is the leader who actually understands
you can take it off just because we're losing listeners. whenever her voice goes. But I think she did a great job actually answering that. When I was like 4 glasses of wine deep, the first part was actually really good. And I kind of like missed that because of obviously wine. And I remember like hearing like, wait, what does like sexual assault have to do with fracking? But anyway, but I think she did a really good job. By the way, that was verbatim the same exact question, verbatim, that she was asked on her first big CNN interview. And like I told you on Fox News, that was her big moment. That's what they call it. And then you go to this one. And this one is this was her big moment. This is the first time she's addressing the nation. This is her big moment. Go look at both. No, 2 weeks ago, y'all said you intro this as her big moment. I even introed it like you introed it. I said, this is Kamala's big moment. This is her first address to the nation. All you heard last night before the debate was this is her big moment. This is the first time she's addressed the nation. No, it's not. She did the CNN interview. That was the first time. You guys said it was her first time. And she bombed it. And then they asked her the same the same exact questions on that very softball, like put Donald Trump's orange head as the ball and throw it up and let her swing the bat at it. She can't miss. It was the same questions. But she did a much better job, doing the eye rolls, making eye contact, using emotions of the voters who aren't critical thinkers, playing with these abortion votes. And then she got away with her lies and confusion, which, by the way, they said going into this, which we covered on another Fox News segment on the rules for the debate, where we even said her biggest complaint was that he was going to be able to lie and she wasn't going to be able to fight back muted. So I think what she did was, well, two can play at that game. I'll lie while he's muted, because she did all the lies and Donald Trump didn't really. All his things were fact checkable. And even when they did fact check him on the one thing that they tried to blow up, they tried to make it really excitable, right? The hungry Haitians, which we're going to get into here shortly. No, that there is evidence of the hungry Haitians. So yeah, I agree with you. It was like kind of a Remember the Titans part of the movie where the other team has the refs in their pockets. But here, let me bring this for you guys. We all said that, like, they tried to kill Trump, right? They tried to sue him. They tried to arrest him. Then I told you none of that worked. So they're going to have to try to kill him. They try to kill him in that word. You don't think that rigging the debate is out of the picture? They tried to fucking shoot him in the face. Like, you don't think that they were going to leak those questions? If you go back and you listen to her CNN interview, there is no way she got that smart in 2 weeks.
You hit the nail on the head right there.
So, Thick Humidog says exactly, all emotion, no policy, and what the hell does abortion have to do with IVF? And she kept talking about fictional abortion bans, Project 2012 and Charlottesville. 100% right. Like, she would say these things, she wouldn't be fact checked, and even the tone and the manner that the moderators used on Trump was completely different. So if I was like moderating between you, Keith, and Josh, and I'm more of a fan of Josh than I am Keith, my tone would be like, hey, Josh, so I know that you claim to be a nerd, and so that you become a nerd, you're working on these lights. How do these lights really differ from anybody else's lights? Where it's when I ask Keith the question, it's like, Keith, you claim to be a firefighter chief. It's debated. But how did you come about that? I mean, it's just the tone, the mannerism is just very cold and dark. So I do think it was 3 against 1. I do agree on somebody in the chat said that I think it was Brian W says at the end of the day, it's a wash. It's not going to change anything. You're 100% right. But what's annoying and frustrating is that Trump had the opportunity to really move the chains in the sports world. He could have moved chains. He could have stuck to policy. And instead he went tit for tat. Let me bring up just one example of the tit for tat for you guys here.
To address the chats, JSK gave us 499, says, not sure if you covered it or not, but did you see the rumors that she was wearing an earpiece? There's photos online. And I seen that this morning, first thing this morning. Brings up laugh. That's the same thing. I seen those this morning. I've not been able to run those down to confirm and deny. I do know that there are lots of things along that nature that you can put in plain sight, because I deal with covert lights
it wouldn't
and stuff
matter.
like that with just lights.
She doesn't need an earpiece. Listen to me. $5 super chatter. I can't see who sent that $5. I just see it's in green. JSK. Listen to me, buddy, or ma'am, whatever. They don't need to put an earpiece in her. Maybe she did, maybe she doesn't. I don't know. But they asked her the same questions that they asked her on her CNN interview that they said was her big moment. Now, that was a fail. She absolutely sounded like an idiot. Go back and please go to FAWKES News and watch my CNN interview breakdown with her, where I play her thing in totality, all 18 minutes, as I break down. It was embarrassing how stupid she appeared. They asked her verbatim the same questions, and they set it up the same way they set that up. This is her big moment. This is her first time in judgment. They made all the idiots, all the non-critical thinkers think that this was her big moment and that this was her first time. It was not. It was rehearsed 2 weeks ago.
She had the answers to the retest.
That's it. That's what I said all night last night. I was like, these are the same fucking questions, and she's knocking them out of the park. She's crushing these questions.
It's when you fuck it up the first time and you already know what it is, then you know how to formulate that answer better.
Right. So I would say that she probably did not need an earpiece. She just got coached on answering this. It's just like if you fail the exam and they give you a retake, you already know what to study, and you go back and you triple down, you're going to look like a genius. You're probably going to get close to 100 on that test. But this is where Trump should have, even with that, she still did not have any policy. Like you said, she still didn't have any policy.
Right.
She still didn't have anything of substance. She just answered it better. And this is where Trump could have answered better than this.
Plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy.
She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences. Like run, spot, run.
So right there, that was Trump's moment to, one, hit her up on the $50,000 tax deduction, because we all know where that's going to go. The houses of the housing market, everything else is going to go up. It's all going to account to inflation. He could have expanded on that, because he did with the Elon Musk interview. When Elon Musk talked to him about the budget, I thought that 2-hour interview, one, was pretty boring, but what 2-hour podcast isn't extremely boring? But I thought it was brilliant how he gave examples of how he cut government spending. He said, like, look, this was going to cost $6.4 billion. I negotiated it down to $5.2 billion, which means somewhere down the lines, where's that $1.5 billion going? Like, how does somebody overshoot $1.5 billion in government spending? I thought that was fascinating things. He could have brought that same information and that same bravado into this, and he would have come out way on top. Instead, he says, like, 4 sentences, run, spot, run. I get it. You only have 2 minutes, but I thought he could have done a lot better. I know, Thick Hum Doug says, but did she crush it? ? She talked a lot and said nothing. No, you're right. But if you go back to her CNN interview, she completely failed that interview. Like, it was Joe Biden-esque failure. Like, it was, what is your day one policy? Like, it was super, super sad to watch it. And it was like one of those, like, smack your face, like, objectively, nobody on the left could watch that and be like, oh, she's got her shit together. However, she was able to game this last night and nobody on the left looked at her and was embarrassed last night. Nobody on the left. And that's what we wanted, though. We wanted people to see the real side of her and be like, fuck. So it wasn't a win I will say it was not a win for Donald Trump. I want to get into the Hungry Haitians, but before I do, what's always a win? A sleep on a ghost bed. If you head over to ghostbed.com right now and use the promo code Wolfpack, you can get sleep so good it's literally scary. How do you think I'm so awake after being up all night watching the debate and prepping for today's news shows and getting ready to run a distillery that, my distillery and do all of these things with my kids and all the things? Is because I get a good night's rest. Right now, Ghost Bed, the main supporter, beds made in the good old USA, but the main supporter of veterans and first responders everywhere. I don't know another company that has done more for veteran-owned podcasts and first responder-based podcasts, going back from Drinking Bros to us to Chuck Liddell's show to I even think that they were on with Anti-Hero. They sponsored Anti-Hero Conservative Anthony. They sponsored the dude who killed bin Laden, Rob O'Neill, allegedly. They're just in it. They just love and support first responders and veterans and in the podcast realm. And that is so exciting to me. But these beds, I've been to their factory. I've seen how these beds are made. I've been to their customer service factory too. I've been to, I got the whole tour from research and development to manufacturing. I got to go to all of them, and it is so cool to put the healing technology, the copper through there. That's just super thoughtful. The cooling technology and how it works, how they have no box springs in these beds, how they differ from memory foam, which is, cool. But this is like a different style where it's not just memory foam, that they actually have lumbar supported areas. The fact that you can adjust these, they have the 0 gravity massage modes where it's putting air pockets in to like stretch your shoulders out. They have the cooling sheets, all the cooling technology, and the pillows. So if you get hot, like in Florida or in North Carolina, really, you're not going to be clammy and nasty. And that was the big takeaway from the cruise ship. It was like, could you imagine having the cooling sheets and the cooling pillow on the bed? that we were on the cruise, because it's so hot and humid on a cruise that even though the air conditioners work good, you still wake up like clammy, like, ugh. And I was like, my wife was like, it's really because we sleep on those cooling sheets and the cooling pillow that we don't sleep on these regular polyester shit sheets. So really, dude, it's all about, if you're a first responder, sleep is the most important thing. That's the way you're going to make the best decisions. Get a ghost bed sheets package, get the ghost bed pillow, do the ghost bed pillowcases, and just do that. And then when you can afford it, get the ghost bed deluxe mattress and all the other things. Staying cool while staying hard. That's my motto. Stay cool while staying hard. And then we have factormeals.com/Wolfpack50 meal planning the next level, which I've got. Listen, I ate my weight +6 on this cruise. I feel like a hungry Haitian but instead of eating cats and geese, I ate caviar, creme brulee. I had way too much creme brulee, by the way, because you could get it free every night. I had escargot every night. I had steak every day. Mexican food. I went to the Mexican restaurant on the cruise. I had Mexican food every day. I'm so fat right now. It's unbelievable. I'm going to jiu-jitsu today. I'm starting my diet. I'm getting back up on the Factor meals. But you know what? I'm not going protein heavy Factor meals this time. For the first time ever, I'm going calorie conscious on my Factor meals. This is meal planning to the next level, guys. So you just go on. You can choose from their hundreds of variety, their hundreds menu items. I'm going to pick strictly calorie conscious, which is less than 500 calories per meal. And I'm just going to eat. I'm going to do the breakfast shake. I'm going to do the calorie conscious lunch, and I'm going to do the calorie conscious dinner. I'm going to do that for like 30 days. I got to cut down this weight and get back into shape. But listen, you want to get jacked and swole, do the protein heavy. You want to go vegan, vegetarian, do the vegetarian thing. Go to factormeals.com, Wolfpack50 for 50% off. That's factormeals.com/Wolfpack50 for 50% off. Start your meal plan today before the holiday season comes upon you. Don't go into this holiday season feeling fat. Get thin, get skinny, get fat again. Then come January, you can get skinny again for the summer. Hit up Factor Meals. It's the best, easiest way to do it. It's not even a diet. It's just meal planning, and it's perfect for you, for me, for everyone. Anybody can do it. It isn't hard, and these meals are delicious, fresh and never frozen, delivered right to your door. All right, let's go into the Hungry Haitians. During the debate last night, let me go ahead and I'll play that clip because I do have that clip. Let me get rid of my old clip, though, because I don't want to bog this thing down. Go ahead and remove whatever we're done using, Josh, or do I have to do it? I got it. Remove from studio.
Yep.
And here, I'm going to play this one more video file. And I believe, nope, it's.
While you're doing that, do you want me to play the other one that we've got that for sure happened but didn't happen?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is from the city council
The
meeting.
odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for going left to center and a couple miles over. Y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol knows so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic. Y'all pay them. They can go over there and teach these Haitians how to drive because it's getting bro. I'm getting thousands of views.
We can play this in the entirety. He's already talked.
I love
He's
it.
already
Keep
talked about
going.
All right, here we go.
I've heard it.
And y'all sitting up there in these chairs.
I love it.
Y'all, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Like, y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. We got to do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt. Like, only reason I even went on here and said something about it is because somebody told me they walking from the school and a Haitian almost ran into them. And who is getting paid? Like, how much money is y'all really getting paid, like, to bring them over here? Like, I know it's deeper than them. I know that's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, like, step up. Like, it's lame, bro.
Dude, let him cook, boys. Let him cook. I love it, dude. Like, you know that is the most sensitive. He was trying so hard, and I know he was trying hard because if he wasn't, he would have let like 16 F-bombs go, where he was like, yo, y'all gotta y'all gotta let it go. You know what I mean? Like, he stopped himself. He did a great job. And so they go out on the debate stage, and I couldn't find the clip that I'm pretty sure I put it out. I'm pretty sure I saved it. I just can't find it. But and she's like, he's talking about these Haitians. Now, she's the one that signed the bill to let these, what was it, 100,000 go to Ohio?
Yeah.
There's somewhere between 15 to 20,000 that showed up in Springfield, and Springfield's a town of like 50.
Right, but it was like 100,000 total in Ohio, right?
This one,
something like that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't want to be wrong.
The exact number. Because we're talking about
20,000 in just Springfield, which it made their they went from being like what were they a town of?
60,000, and they went to 90 or 60,000 to somewhere between 75 to 80,000. Instantly.
But it's not hyperbolic. Have you seen all the TikToks of the Haitian accidents where they just montage these Haitians standing on the side of the road? Now, I don't think this is hyperbolic. These are not media. And that's why I know that this is a real story, because if it was the media going, there's Haitians crashed everywhere, and look at these Haitians crashed everywhere, and they're using all this emotion, you know the media is lying, right? Like, you know, if
this is literally an hour away from where I live.
Okay, well, tell me about it.
It's so I got a buddy that works in the fire department up toward there. He doesn't work for Springfield. This is, in fact, factual news. And
it's in fact factual news.
So what's happening is, you know, these Haitians came in like 2020, and all these businesses started employing them, like 2020, 2021. And then they just kept bringing more and more and more, and they're getting dropped off in the middle of the night at a gas station, like that gentleman said. But what they're doing is they're able to take their driving permit test with an interpreter, but they never go back and actually get their license, right? So they're taking their temps test, and for them, they think permit is permission. They never go back and take the actual driving test to get licensed. So these idiots don't know how to drive, and it's just bedlam through the town of Springfield. And
was it Springfield in The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a Simpsons episode, like Haitians driving their cars all over the place. I want to get into this Haitians, though, eating the ducks. Like, I don't think that this guy is lying. I don't think this guy is just making that up. Like, that's not a story that you make up. I can see it happening, but, you know, on the same time, like, I like how people are like, that's terrible. It's probably a lot cleaner than the food that you're getting from Food Lion or Cole, wherever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, a fresh goose is probably not that bad. Little foie gras, you know? But eating, you know, your neighbor's cats is look, I'm a big fan of eating pussy. I'm just not gonna eat my neighbor's pussy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I actually heard that from another podcast. It was I forgot the guy's name. I just stole his joke, and now I can't even credit him with the joke. It was not Louder with Crowder. It was I'll remember it later. Huh?
Dead leg. I'm sending you something.
No. But anyway,
because the one thing is he wanted to talk there specifically because he said someone almost hit someone, a child, on their way to school. And I said, well, that's a close call. Well, an 11-year-old was killed in Ohio by a migrant that hit their bus in a minivan. So it's not happening until people are going to funerals. And then the only thing that's being put out right now about that particular case, when I search for it, is where's that? They have all about Trump. They don't want Trump to use this for Trump. Like, okay, it happened. We're not trying to use this for political side one or the other. If they weren't allowed into the country, this wouldn't have happened. It's pretty simple.
Right.
If this person wasn't here, this can't happen. Like,
it's cause and effect.
I mean, it's pretty apparent that anything that is in the news that helps out Trump is fake news, and any fake news that helps out the left is not presented as fake news. And Google is bought and paid for right now. It's apparent. Listen, we do research all day long. Use DuckDuckGo. Like, I mean, I don't trust DuckDuckGo, but I trust it a hell of a lot more than I trust fucking Google. You can't find shit on Google if it has any type of conservative spin on it. So yeah, at the end of the day, the Hungry Haitians is a real story. I don't know if it's as hyperbolic as everybody thinks, but I mean, shit, dude, you got 20,000 third world Haitians. There's some third world shit that's going to take place in your peaceful town. I live in a very small town. If you started shipping a whole bunch of Haitians over here, it'd be pretty damn noticeable of the things that are changing in our very quiet and quaint town. I don't know anything about Springfield, but if it goes from being a calm, quiet,
it was
town,
a shithole. It was a shithole before the Haitians got there, but
so now it's just a little bit more shitty.
Yeah,
maybe that's why
the one that you sent is the body camera footage of a woman that was arrested, literally eating a cat. So I'm running this one down. I don't know her immigration status. I don't know if she's a U.S. citizen or not. I don't know the mental health status, if this was a mental health episode. But this is one that they're using. They're saying that this didn't happen, but this is a woman that literally the police have walked up on as she's. There's not going to be any sound on your guys' end. They're asking her to smile and take pictures of her because she's got blood all over her mouth and teeth from when she ate this cat. Just ate someone's cat on the sidewalk, right, for your neighbors and everybody see. So she's asking, no, did you see it? No, we just pulled up and this is what was going on. And we seen her laying there next to the cat and munching on it. So it's not happening, but it is happening.
Right.
It's not happening, but it is happening. Like, it's ridiculous. And the other, like, the media, every time something comes out that you see and they say, well, that didn't happen. Well, no, I watched it with my own eyes. Well, that didn't happen. So then it makes you, I just start to question, what else are they lying about? The other thing I'll point out is
gaslighting. And I've said that 1,000 times on the show. It's like, it's the gaslighting from the left that is just insane. And I hate the word, like, gaslighting was the word of 2023. Like, that was like one of the new, the January 1st most used stories of used sentences of 2021 was gaslighting or words or whatever. And I was like, God, that's so stupid. But then I realized that the left is actually pros at gaslighting. They're like, you will watch something happen in real time and then they will tell you that it's not real. Like when she was talking about the DNC in January 6th, it's like, you know that you were in the DNC building for no reason. And there was a pipe bomb that was found by a roving FBI, even though that your Secret Service and the FBI were sitting outside the DNC 20 feet from where this pipe bomb allegedly was found. And then you find the pipe bomb and you happen to be in the DNC when they find and then you don't know who put the pipe bomb there, and you have all these cameras, but now the cameras have been deleted. Exactly. Oh my God. Wow. This is so wild. Like, you got caught trying to stage some bullshit, just like you did the Gretchen Whitmer case, just like you did with the Ashley Biden diary, just like you did with the Hunter Biden laptop. Like, you guys keep getting caught in this shit. Now it's the Trump assassination attempt. I guarantee you that's going to be next. But then you're like telling us that, oh my God, I was like, we already know the truth, Kamala, about you and the DNC. Don't try to gaslight us into being a victim. You had no reason to be there. The only reason you were there was because there was a fake pipe bomb there and you needed it for publicity. And we can all see through that. Like
Right.
it's like insanity, guys. Listen, guys, we have some more news segments over at Fox News, FAWKES. If you're one of the people in the live chats right now, if your corn pop was a bad dude, if you're thick humid dog, if you're Katie K, what's up, Katie K, baby Fox? Folk around and find out. If you're any of those people, head over to FAWKES, Fox News, and subscribe to the channel. That's our new channel. We do multiple segments a day, bringing you transparent news. I'll say it like that. I won't say it's objective. I won't say it's agenda free. I will say that it is transparent. We will let you know what our sources are. We will let you know our receipts. And that way it's news that you can regurgitate and not be afraid that it has not been fact checked completely and that you don't have the totality. And they're like 9 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes long. We did one that was an hour and a half because we had to break down the CNN interview, which it paid off, boys. It paid off because everything that we reported 2 weeks ago on that CNN thing, if you watched it, you knew going into last night's debate what was actually going on here. And so the more you know, knowing is half the battle. That's what G.I. Joe says. And I think what we're calling our Fox Newsies, we're calling you guys Fockers. The Fockers in the chat. So we want to see you Fockers over there. It can't be live yet because we don't have enough airtime over there and we don't have enough followers. So we really need subscribers over on Fox News to help out with that. Nothing changes on Failure to Stop. That is it's YouTube only. So it's just for you guys. And we'll see where it goes. It's going to be completely crowdfunded. Ghost Bed offered to be a part of it coming in. I get enough money from Ghost Bed that I wanted this to just be not an Eric Tanzi project. I want this to be, because it's a network project. If I make any money from Fox News, it'll still go back into the network. It's still pouring in there. But I want the Fox News to always be, if possible, crowdfunded. And it could be zero funded. It doesn't need to be funded as long as there's lots of people subscribing, because I want that news to always be news that I can give and I don't have to worry about pissing off a sponsor for any reason. And I can be so objective on there. So I'm really, really would like to see that show. Now things might change, right? Like I might get greedy. You never know. But at least I'll be transparent about being greedy. Because at the end of the day, the money talks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hold Jason Keefe back from, moving to North Carolina into a big giant studio and giving him a 6-figure career podcasting because I have some kind of noble cause where I want to just give you guys unbiased news. Like I will sell my soul to the Russians quicker than Tim Pool and Dave. I'm just kidding. They did not. That is a fake fucking story. That's 2 months before the election. And if you were falling for it, shame on you, because I know Tim Pool. I've been out to his place a few times. Tim Pool is not taking money from the Russians, the FBI, the same FBI from the Gretchen Whitmer case, the same FBI from Project Veritas case, the same FBI from Hunter Biden's laptop, and the same FBI from the Mar-a-Lago raid staging evidence. That same FBI is telling you that they're doing an investigation about another Russia collusion. Come on, guys. Like, don't be so obtuse here, but I will cover it objectively on Fox News. But for all of you guys out there, please go over there, be a part of that. I want to see that grow because I don't think there's any other news out there like it. This is emotional free 9-minute, 15-minute news segments that you can, I want you to be able to at least know that it's transparent enough that you have enough resources to formulate a very critical thought out opinion on the news story. And it's like the other news that they want, right? Like we want Haitians to be eating everybody's cats because that's great salacious news. We want The Rock to be endorsing Trump because he's a Trump fan and not because he's bought into the UFC and the WCW and he's trying to appease conservatives for the money. I want to like the Rock too. I want to give you guys transparent and truthful news over there. And I want to do it without bribery and without being in somebody's pocket. So for right now, I am not in anybody's pocket over there. Subscribe to the channel, be a part of the channel. We just started the new Instagram. It's called Fox News, FAWKES News. Head over there. I'll still do all the long form content here, but over there, it's very short, 15 minutes, but I bring you all of the receipts and it's recorded and then premiered so that I have all of everything organized and I can just put it up there so that you can take that 9 minutes of information and you can fight the powers on the streets, that you can fight the powers in your classrooms. My brother is a school teacher and he was like, dude, if it wasn't for your CNN episode, I would not been able to have this lunchtime debate with like 4 liberal teachers, but I had all of this evidence from your CNN thing that I just made them look like idiots. And that's the point of this. It's like, here's your ammunition to say that's fake news, that's not real. And it is biased, right? It is probably considered conservative news. However, I have no problem shitting on conservatives either, because I believe in big government. I don't believe in Republicans and Democrats anymore. I believe that there's a big government and then there is everybody else. And big government right now is fighting over who gets to be in charge and in power. I think all politicians are pieces of shit. I'm a drinking bro at heart. That was my first podcasting gig. And I'm allowed to take those beliefs from drinking bros over to my podcast. There's a lot of things I love about drinking bros. I will always be a drinking bro as well. So I ran into some drinking bros this weekend. First thing they asked me is, do you have beef with drinking bros? Absolutely no. I have no beef. And I don't think they have beef with me either. There's never been any beef. I podcasted them for 2 years. They gave me an opportunity that has changed me and my family's life. And I will forever, ever be a drinking bro. And if they ever need me for anything, I will always be there. I probably won't work for them again, but I will always be there for them. Mainly just because I like to do things my way. They like to do things their way. That's it. Other than that, we are awesome friends and we love each other. And I even went into their big meetup. I drink their hard as fuck seltzers. I have not a negative thing to say about those boys over there. Even though you see our anti-hero podcast, they have like a little thing. It's all WCW, guys. It's all for entertainment. You think Hulk Hogan really hates Sting? You think Sting really hates The Undertaker? Or do you think backstage? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's all entertainment, and it's all for you guys to get you through the week. So from myself, from One More and I'm Out of Here's Jason Keefe, Chief Keefe, and Dead Leg Media. We will see you guys later this afternoon on Fox News for another Fox News segment. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for sports with Keefe. Are you still doing sports with John?
Yeah, but with him being on vacation, we had to kind of
cancel it out. Yeah, this has been a weird. It's been a weird week. It's been a weird week. We're all on vacation. I got no problems with that. So you can head over to Fox News because we'll have more news segments over there tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see a big jump in subscribers after this. We love you guys. Hit that subscribe and like button. We'll see you guys later. Cheers.